What's up, gamers? It's your boy MtG here, back with another Magic the Gathering deck tech and gameplay video. And today we're doing another tokens deck, and I'm kind of like, I don't know what it is about me, but I'm really partial to tokens builds where you're just kind of going wide and getting value out of making small creatures, and that's what we're going to do again. My last video was Boros tokens, so if you haven't seen that, there's going to be a card popping up right about now, so you can go check that out if you want to see it. But today we're doing Orzhov, and of course, if you're going to be doing any multicolored tokens decks that have like white in it, you're probably running Hero Precinct 1, right? Unless you're doing a super budgety build where you're not running Hero because it's a rare. But we are because we get so much value out of it, because there are only two other cards in this deck that are not going to be multicolored spells, and for the most part we're going to be getting a token out of Hero Precinct 1 every time we cast a spell. If of course Hero Precinct 1 stays on the field, which in some matchups is actually kind of hard to do. But here's what we really want to do, right? We want to play Hero Precinct 1, and then Corpse Knight is another value producer. Of course, when you play Corpse Knight, if you have Hero on the field already, this is going to be creating you a token. But every time a creature enters the battlefield under our control, each opponent loses 1 life. So every time Hero makes a token, when Corpse Knight is on the field, they're going to be losing 1 life. So we're able to ping our opponent without ever attacking. So we do get value. Even if we're not able to attack our opponent, we're getting a lot of value out of those creatures just because they're entering the battlefield. So because of that, we want to have other ways to produce creatures, produce tokens, and so we're also running Imperious Oligarch. This is another creature at 2 mana that's multicolored, so we trigger Hero Precinct 1, but it also has Afterlife, which is very important, because again, we want to be making sure that we're getting a lot of creatures onto the field consistently, and if we have Afterlife, this will get us another spirit token that can again fly in and ping our opponent for little bits of damage at a time, which is really what we want to be going for here. Other creature producers are Seraph of the Scales. Seraph of the Scales is a powerhouse in this deck. For the most part, we want to be playing a little bit more low to the ground, like all these 2 drops here and a couple of 3 mana spells, but we do have 2 Seraph of the Scales here. You could probably bump this up to 4. I put in 2 Basilica Bellhaunt just because I like the life gain, and I like that it's not a mythic rare because I don't have enough wild cards to get more Seraph of the Scales right now. But so we're kind of using a stand-in of Basilica Bellhaunt right now. But you could probably run 4 Seraph of the Scales. My only issue with it is that it's a little bit slow. It's a slow play. I'd rather generally be playing, as I said, a little more low to the ground. But it is a very, very good creature in this deck, particularly because it triggers Hero Precinct 1 and it has Afterlife 2, so even when this dies, it's going to be producing 2 more tokens, which will trigger Corpse Knight if we have it on the field. So that's pretty nice. Okay, so another couple of things I want to mention here is Sorin Vengeful Bloodlord. This is the War of the Spark, Sorin Planeswalker, and it gives our creatures lifelink, which is on our turn, which is actually pretty important in a lot of matchups. So we have quite a few ways to gain life in this deck, which is our way of getting over the hump of, like, we don't want to lose early to aggro decks, so we have a lot of ways to gain life. But we also have to have recursion for things that are going to be controlling our board and getting rid of our stuff. So Sorin does both of that. He gives stuff lifelink. He can ping Planeswalkers and our opponents just for little bits of damage and getting us life. But we can also use his -X, which I think is the most important here, to bring back creatures from the graveyard, which is usually going to be Hero Precinct 1 or something like that. You know, we play him, and we -2 and bring back a hero from the graveyard, which is actually pretty important stuff. We're also running 1 Divine Visitation here because we have so many token producers in this deck. We want to get more value out of that in the late game, especially, as I said, against control decks that are going to be removing our stuff as soon as it hits the board. We want to get more value out of the things that are actually getting there. Speaking of other things that are kind of spiking up our token power is Ethereal Absolution. Creatures we control get +1/+1, and creatures our opponents control get -1/-1. I think this is better. It's better for the most part than Divine Visitation because of the +1/+1 and the -1/-1. So against other token decks, other builds that are going to be running small creatures, this is very effective in just kind of basically nullifying their creatures, and just gives us a huge advantage. Not to mention it's also multicolored, which is important. Divine Visitation is not, though. Like, oh no, we're gonna miss out on 1 token from our Hero Precinct 1s, but I think that can be important because if we do play this and it makes a token, that's going to be a 2/2 token rather than a 1/1. So that's also important. But it also has this extra ability, which I don't use often in this deck, because I find it hard to really want to spend 4 mana to make a 1/1 token, but sometimes we can do that if we are running out of cards in our hand, like in the late game when we're going to be playing this anyway. So you can spend 4 mana, a white, a black, and 2 other mana to exile target card from an opponent's graveyard. If it was a creature card, you create a 1/1 white and black spirit creature token with flying. This can be important sometimes in the late game, but mostly we're just playing it for its passive ability. Other things that I haven't talked about. Ooh, Revival. Okay, Revival Revenge is it's really good in this deck. Revival is another way to get back creatures from the graveyard. Generally, it's going to be, we're getting back one of these 2-drops because we don't have any 3-drop creatures actually in here. But we're going to be usually getting back Hero Precinct 1. And the good thing about Revival and Revenge is it also triggers Hero Precinct 1. Even if we cast Revival, like that's a multicolored spell. So we're getting a lot of value out of it. But I do like that it's a little bit versatile. There are a few situations where you're going to be wanting to cast Revenge, like against aggro decks like mono red. Sometimes you'll want to really just get a bunch of life in the late game. You end up in a grindy game against mono red, and you might want to double your life total because that'll just help you stay in the game longer. So I actually had a game earlier, one of my practice games, where I was able to Revenge, make my opponent lose like 4 or 5 life, and then swing in for the win on that turn because they weren't ready for it. So that's another way. Just kind of direct damage that we don't have a lot of other options for in this deck. Things I haven't talked about. I haven't talked about removal yet. We have a couple ways to remove things. We have obviously Mortify. It's a great card right now because it kills creatures and enchantments. I think the enchantments part is actually more important than... I think we're mostly going to be using this to get rid of creatures, but against certain matchups, the enchantment removal is very important. Like, again, I always bring up the mono red matchup because I think it's a frustrating matchup, but I think we do really well against it because of our life gain and because we have ways to get rid of enchantments, like Experimental Frenzy. That's the one we want to be getting rid of all the time. Other ways to remove stuff. We have Oath of Kaya, which is actually a pretty good card in this deck because it deals 3 damage and we gain 3 life when it enters the battlefield. And whenever an opponent attacks a planeswalker we control with one or more creatures, it deals 2 damage to them and we gain 2 life. That's a little bit less important. The passive is less important than the enter the battlefield effect. There are a lot of times where we're going to be wanting to gain that 3 life, and this will just pop a creature or a planeswalker. I think that's the most important part, is that it's any target, so we can get rid of a creature or a planeswalker. Like a Baby Teferi, yeah, we get rid of that. A Narset, yeah, we probably get rid of that. Maybe not, but we can pop planeswalkers, and it's not just creature removal, so that is good. And again, the life gain is going to be important, and it's multicolored, so we like that. Other things, yes, Despark. Despark is also really great for getting rid of things like, why did I just forget? Oh, Rekindling Phoenix. Yeah, that's still in Standard right now, and it is very pesky, so we exile that. This is mainly for planeswalkers, actually, like big planeswalkers that we don't have great ways to deal with other than Despark. We just say, oh yeah, we've got 2 mana. We'll just exile that planeswalker you just played. So this is really nice removal. You can it depends on the matchups you're facing. Like, for the most part, I've been facing more like mid-rangey or aggro decks. So I think having more creature removal than Desparks. Like, I have 4 Mortifies and only 3 Desparks. You can obviously adjust these numbers a little bit depending on your card collection or the matchups you think you're going to be facing. God's Willing. It's not multicolored, but we play it anyway because it's great. Pretty much any white deck right now that I'm playing, I've got God's Willing in there to some extent. I had this at 2 originally, but I bumped it up to 3 because it's really, really good. I think that's about it. That's probably the only... I think that's everything I need to talk about. The mana base is pretty simple. 24 lands. I don't really think you can chop this down at all because we want to be hitting, our mana curve right, so we get to 4 mana on turn 4 or 5, I guess. That'll be fine. Excuse me. To just make sure we're able to play these 4 mana spells and eventually probably get to Ethereal Absolution and Revenge, maybe. So the only card in this deck that is not rotation proof. So everything in this deck right now is staying in Standard when Throne of Eldraine comes out, which is actually super important. I think I accidentally... Gosh, my throat. When I published my last video, I accidentally said it was rotation proof. When it's not. I went back and changed the title because it's definitely not rotation proof because Heroic Reinforcements was M19, which is rotating out when the next set comes out. But this one, other than Isolated Chapel, it's our check land. We've only got 2 of them in here just to kind of smooth things out in our mana curve. I assume we might be getting a replacement in Throne of Eldraine, which is why I kept it in. We may not be, so, Temple of Silence is still here, and then I believe we're probably going to get a gain land or something like that. Anyway, yeah, this is the only card that is rotating out, so I'm going to say this deck is rotation proof, except for Isolated Chapel. So everything else is staying in, I believe. Yeah, just running through this just because last time I was thinking that and I was wrong. But everything else, yes, okay, good. I'm going to stop talking about that, and we're going to go play some games and see how it fares. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like, and if you're new to the channel, I welcome you. I hope you are feel called to subscribe for more content if you if you so desire. Okay, let's go play. Okay, here we go. Game 1 with Orzhov Tokens, and I had something in my head that I was gonna say. I don't remember what it was. Not important. Whew. I think this is actually a pretty good hand. Yeah, I like this hand because we get Temple of Silence on turn 1, which will help us scry. So if we don't draw another land on turn 1, that can help us get it. But this is fine. We've got removal, and we've got a creature. This is not the ideal start. Normally, we want to start the game with a Hero of Precinct 1 in our hand, but you can't always do that. Yep. Looks like mono red, baby. Okay, that's fine. We're equipped to handle mono red here. This is actually a good hand against it. Okay, so we'll go ahead and Temple of Silence now. God's willing. I think yeah, we keep that on top. That's fine. We're gonna definitely want that in our hand once we play Corpse Knight or Hero of Precinct 1 if we draw it. But I think we don't play Corpse Knight immediately. Oh, okay, so they are stuck on mana. So we're actually going to play Corpse Knight now because I'd rather absorb a shock with Corpse Knight than take it to the face and let them light up the stage. Because they're stuck on 1 mana right now. So, okay, they're going to shock Corpse Knight, then attack with Fanatical Firebrand. Okay, so they did get a mountain, which is unfortunate, but not the end of the world. So what I'm gonna do, I don't love playing Oath of Kaya on Fanatical Firebrand, but I mean, what else am I gonna do? I think that's a fine play. We get rid of that, and we gain 3 life, so we're back to 20. That's fine. Okay, cool. Interesting. Okay, let's go ahead and play Hero Precinct 1 here. We've got God's Willing at the ready, so we're going to pass turn, and they're probably going to try to shock it or Wizard's Lightning it here to get rid of it. And if they do, that's fine, but it looks like they don't have instant speed removal, so that's wonderful. Let's see if they attack. If they attack, I'm going to actually block because I'm probably going to play the God's Willing anyway. I'm dumb. I'm kind of dumb. The thing is now, if I play the God's Willing, yeah, they win this exchange. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have blocked because they win this exchange because when I play God's Willing to keep it alive from this attack, they shock it. Yikes. I messed up. That was stupid. The good news is, I'm going to go ahead and do this. The good news is, we can play Sorin next turn, and then, yeah, so it's going to die here, I think. Lightning Strike, probably. Wizard's Lightning. Okay, they must have top-decked that, or I think they would have played it last turn. Golly, my throat is, like, all messed up, man. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to play a Sorin, and I'm actually not going to bring back Hero of Precinct 1 just yet. I'm going to deal damage. I want to tempt them to attack it. So either they're probably going to attack, not attack, they're going to cast spells on Sorin, because if they attack, I gain life and they take damage. But that absorbs a lot of spells from their hand rather than going to my face, which is pretty good. And we've got another Sorin in hand, so we're okay. Because this forces them to make some tough decisions here about where to put damage, whether to just ignore Sorin and go for my face, or spend a bunch of cards dealing with Sorin. Okay, Lightning Strike, fine. So they probably have another Lightning Strike or Wizard's Lightning or something. Or maybe they attack. Oh, they are attacking. Okay, well, I gain some life. And they kill my Sorin. Not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. Yeah, okay, we'll play the Sorin now, and then I'm going to actually minus X to bring back Hero Precinct 1. I wish I had more mana at my disposal right now, but I don't. Yeah, we'll get back Hero. He's now a vampire. Whew. The bad news is he dies to shock. They both die to shock. Okay, or Lightning Strike. It would be an interesting move for them to attack Sorin on this turn. They probably won't, right? Like, if they have a shock or a Lightning Strike, they should just... Okay, that's fine. I mean, I gained 2 life from that, so we're still at 20, and this is, what, turn 6? So that's really good. That's really good against Mono Red. Obviously, the issue is that we don't have any board state right now. You know what? We're just gonna mortify Runaway Steamkin right now, because that stops it from being a mana engine next turn. Once it gets to 3 counters, they can just make a ton of mana with it, and we don't like that, so it's dead now. Ooh, okay. Seraph of the Scales is a really, really nice creature to play in this matchup, because it's a wonderful blocker. Maybe they Wizard's Lightning it. Who knows? Also, okay. I just remembered what I was going to say at the very beginning of this game. So the season just reset, so that's why I'm bronze. I was gold. Like, I had just gotten to gold because I hadn't played a ton this season, and it just reset. So now I am at. Well, that is interesting. We're gonna go ahead and play the Corpse Knight, and I'm gonna attack with Seraph of the Scales. We can be pretty aggressive right here. Okay, you shock Corpse Knight. That's fine. I'm going to... Okay, I'll give you Vigilance. And then I'll attack. We don't have mana up for Mortify anymore, which is a little bit sad. And then Wizard's Lightning. Okay. Okay, a Goblin Chain Whirler is pretty bad for us right here. Okay. Fanatical Firebrand. Ooh, no! Yeah, we blocked that bad boy. Bye-bye, Pyromancer. Okay, so they've finally gotten us down to below their own health. Okay, yep. And this is why we play Basilica Bellhaunt, because it is so good against Mono Red. Because A, it gains life, it makes them discard a card, which is really, really good. It's big enough, it has a big enough butt to block consistently. It doesn't die to Lightning Strike or Wizard's Lightning or Shock. They have to Lava Coil it or attack and then shock it now. So it's absorbing a lot of damage. Yep. Oh no, you shocked me. I'm actually just going to pass. I'm going to pass the turn, see what they do here. If they play a creature, I'm probably going to wait until my turn and then Oath of Kaya on it. I'm actually going to... Ooh. I think they top decked it out if they would have played it last turn. That's my guess. I'm actually going to take the damage. Okay, yep, go to my turn. I will, yes, I want to play Oath of Kaya. It's legendary, so I have to only keep one, but I will kill you, gain 3 life, and then play Corpse Knight. Okay, so now we can start attacking. Unfortunately, we don't have anything in our hand to really play at this point. But that's fine. We pretty much have responses to whatever they can do, which is wonderful. Very nice. Yeah, you can kill my Corpse Knight. That's fine. We'll go to my turn. So... Okay, we can't play Ethereal Absolution just yet. But when we do, that will probably be their undoing. I mean, I think this game is pretty much over at this point. They're flooding now. We have a huge advantage in terms of just our hand and their hand and our life total and their life total because we've gained a lot of life. And now we have Ethereal Absolution. So if they play a Viashino Pyromancer or a Fanatic Firebrand or a Runaway Steamkin, it will die immediately. So they pretty much can't keep anything on the board. And we can just make spirits. Okay. Have fun playing that Fanatical Firebrand. Oopsie. Sorry, person. You done goofed. We'll go ahead and just do this. We'll exile a Pyromancer. Doesn't really matter. Makes us a spirit token. And then I will play that tapped, I guess. Then pass the turn. If they play an Experimental Frenzy, we just despark it, and it's gone. Okay, we win! That was a great matchup for us. As I said, mono red, we do well against mono red. Anything that like consistently gains life does well against mono red, as you can imagine. But I felt like their deck was not performing super well. Maybe they're doing like a little bit of a budgety version of mono red. But we also didn't get a great start. And I pretty much punted at the beginning of that game. Okay, we go first. I'm going to keep this hand because we do have Temple of Silence. I really like starting with Temple of Silence. Fix our draw. I think I actually bottomed that at this point. We need to get rolling. Like, we need to get creatures. And we've got 3 lands in our hand. Okay, this may be mono red again. Of course, I mean, it may not be, but looks that way a little bit. So let's see what they got. All right, we'll pass the turn. So if this is mono red, which it looks like it is, they have a very, very slow start. Oh no, not a lightning strike. Okay, they do light up the stage. And spells. Okay, so the thing is, if I play Seraph of the Scales right now, if I shock in Godless Shrine to play Seraph of the Scales, it dies to Wizard's Lightning. But I could shock in and play Basilica Bellhaunt, forcing them to discard, and we gain 3 life. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So normally I don't like to shock in lands here against mono red, but because they're having such a slow start, Basilica Bellhaunt is also a good play here because they discard a land, and it doesn't die to any of their spells right now, unless they have a Lava Coil. Okay, that's fine. They can cast another Light Up the Stage. Okay, they actually have a creature in their hand now. But I'm going to actually attack. And then I'm going to play Seraph of the Scales. Now we've got a pretty ridiculous board presence against mono red. Like, do I see them coming back from this? Not really. If they attack here... Okay, Wizard's Lightning. Fine. Fine. I will let them deal damage to me. Because I do have Oath of Kaya to get to Lava Runner. But they may... Okay, they're just getting rid of all my tokens. I will not block that. Though I did... Okay. That does allow them to Spectacle, which is not great, but whatever. I'll go ahead and Oath of Kaya now. See if that draws out a Wizard's Lightning. Nope. And then I'm gonna... I guess I'll just attack. I really don't mind if they get in an attack with a Get 2 Lava Runner next turn. Doesn't really bother me all that much. Steamkin. Okay. The only reason this might be a problem is if they're able to produce a bunch of mana with it this turn. Okay, Chain Whirler. Not great. Okay, I would love to play Hero of Precinct 1, but I don't have enough mana to do anything with it immediately. So I think I'm just going to pass turn, see what they do here, and I have a Mortify for, you know, whatever happens. I also have God's Willing. Okay. So if they cast another spell to try to bump up the... I should have... Dang. Okay, yeah, I need to do this before they get their third counter on that. And if they try to attack with the Goblin Chain Whirler, I will definitely block, and then I'm going to play God's Willing. Yeah. Which will... Yeah, okay. This is really unfortunate for our opponent, because they're gonna sack a Fanatical Firebrand to deal damage before the first strike damage occurs, and we're just going to basically... Yeah, we're going to give it protection, so they lose a lot in this exchange. Do we want that? I think not. I'm actually going to bottom Divine Visitation right here. That's so sad. Oh my gosh, that's really sad. Man. Okay, we will play Sorin. We're going to bop you for damage, and then I'm going to attack with Basilica Bellhaunt. It's got lifelink, so I'd be dumb not to. I mean, I wouldn't be dumb not to, I guess. I could hold it for some other cause, but there's not a whole lot they can do to me just because I attacked with that. Yeah, they shock Sorin. Woo! If they attack Sorin with Oath of Kaya, or with their Fanatical Firebrand, my Oath of Kaya will trigger, and then I win the game. So I win the game already because they conceded. There we go. So what I'm learning from this is that if you're really tired of playing against mono red and you're looking for a deck that's just gonna beat them into submission and make them regret their choices, play this. Play Orzhov Tokens. All right, we'll play another game at least. Try to get a different matchup than mono red so we see how it performs against literally anything else. maybe everyone's just playing mono red right now, and that's fine if they are. I don't really like this hand. I could keep it because I do have Temple of Silence and I can scry. I just don't like that we don't have any early plays. D-Spark is not good because we can't really use it until after turn 4 because they're not going to have anything with mana cost 4 or greater. I'll keep it though because of Temple of Silence. See if we have like a Hero Precinct 1 on top. Got the Shrine, we'll bottom that. Try to get a creature. Is this about to be mono red again? Why? Why, Arena? Can't you match me up against anything else? My gosh. Okay, I'm gonna mortify this Runaway Steamkin. Boom. It's gone. It's gone. Okay, so we're actually gonna take some damage here. Dang, that is unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. I'll pass. So if they play another Runaway Steamkin or like a Goblin Chain Whirler, I can just go ahead and mortify it. I wonder if they have maybe they have like a Chandra or something for this turn 4. They've got a lot of cards in hand, which is a little bit scary, but I mean, I guess so do I. I have a lot of answers. Okay. Goblin Chain Whirler. We'll resolve that, and then we will mortify it. Go ahead and just get out of here. We don't want you here. Oh, good. Okay, a land. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, if I play Sorin... dang. If I play Sorin... It's probably going to die. He's probably going to die. But he could absorb like a bunch of damage for me, and that might be nice. But, I mean, same with Seraph of the Scales, though. So I'm just going to go... I'm going to play Seraph of the Scales. Let the turn go. They might just kill it here. Okay, Lava Runner. Okay, a Lightning Strike. Pyromancer? Okay. Interesting. They don't attack. Let's see.
I will have revenge for House Markov.
I'm gonna do something a little weird. I'm gonna attack with one of these to gain the life. I lose a blocker, so I may not be able to keep Sorin alive next turn. But if they want to kill it, they're gonna have to put spells into it, or they're gonna have to have a Goblin Chain Whirler here, which is a distinct possibility. There's Goblin Chain Whirler, but the good news is, if they attack with Pyromancer, oh, just kidding, because my spirits are dead, so now they can easily kill my Sorin, which is a bummer. Wizard's Lightning, and the Flame of Keld. Sick. This is actually very bad. This is very bad. This is one of those situations where you kind of wish you played Kaya's Wrath. Yeah. Okay, Corpse Knight. This is pretty bad. This is pretty bad. Not gonna lie. We'll pass the turn. I mean, we just need Corpse Knight as the blocker. I was hoping we could keep the streak going of just murdering mono red decks, but it's not looking great. So let's, God's willing, protection from red here. No, bottom that. Get that out of here. See, here's the thing, buddy. Protection from red. I don't kill your Goblin Chain Whirler, but... Oh, now that's nice. So we can go Oath of Kaya. Now we can kill their Goblin Chain Whirler. And we gain 3 life. The bad news is, their Flame of Keld is about to pop off. That's scary. So the good news is, there's a lot of good news and bad news. The good news is, they don't have very many cards in their hand to deal a lot of damage with. The bad news is... Wait, what the... Why does that say 18? Why? Why is it times 18? I don't understand that. Okay. That's a GG. Great. Good game. That was terrible. I'm very frustrated with the way this deck is performing. Even the last couple of games, even the ones we won, we're not actually making tokens. It's really frustrating. I want to get my Hero of Precinct 1 on the field, but I've only drawn maybe 2, maybe 3, and they've all gotten killed immediately, which is never really surprising. I want to actually make tokens. I also haven't seen Imperious Oligarch at all. Not one bit. I don't think I have. Maybe I did in the first game and I just forgot already. Oh my gosh. Mulligan. Okay. This is fine. I'm actually going to keep this. Keep 6. The question now is, do I get rid of Despark or do I get rid of Divine Visitation? This is the only Visitation in the whole deck. So I think I'm actually going to keep it. I'm going to get rid of Despark. I'm going to bottom that. So it's not really useful to us for a while anyway. And then let's see what they play. If this is another mono red, I might just punch the screen. I might give a really hard bro fist to the screen. No. Why? Okay, that's actually really good news. So we'll do that. I'm going to pass the turn. Next turn I can play Year of Precinct 1 with God's Willing. This makes me super sad. I want to show the deck against real matchups. I don't consider mono red to be a real matchup. This is very annoying. Very annoying. Why are you stuck on the screen? Okay. Yeah. We passed the turn. Oof. They might play a Chain Whirler here. They may just... Okay, the shock. God's Willing. It's reasonably likely that they have another shock that they can play, or a Lightning Strike. They can get me with. Yeah, okay. That's actually super nice. So now he can serve as a blocker, or he or she. Can't really tell in this picture. Not that it matters. I just want to make sure I'm correctly gendering the cards. Okay. Yeah, we go Corpse Knight. Now, we actually made a token with Hero of Precinct 1. This is amazing. It's beautiful. So here's the thing. I don't have this on their next turn. It's going to die. Hero of Precinct 1 is dead. I think I bottom this for now. I think I bottom that. I need to draw like a Sorin or Oath of Kai or something actually useful. Obviously, if I get a... Yeah, I don't attack either. If I attack, they just block with the right Steamkin. It briefly flashed into my head that, I can attack with, they can't block it. But no, they can still block. And I don't kill their Steamkin. But this is actually scary. The Steamkin here with 3 counters on it. Yep. Okay. Oh, boy. And they probably... yeah, kill my token so they can just attack willy-nilly now. You know what the best part of this all is? Is that I'm gonna draw. Okay, no, that's terrible. I was like, oh, this is great, but it's not. It's not great because I can't play Basilica Bellhaunt right now. I don't have the mana for it. Sick. Yeah, we're probably dead again. Probably dead again. I overhyped this deck against mono red. I'm sorry. But seriously, where are my Imperious Oligarchs? Okay, that's a thing. I think we have to play this now. This is the only way we really don't die, is to go ahead and gain life, and then have a blocker. Yeah, I mean, obviously if we played Divine Visitation, we would be dead, you know. I think we're pretty dead anyway. There's, I guess, a couple of ways we could be not dead. Oh boy, okay. Pyromancer. So I have to block the Steamkin with the Bellhaunt. Good game, opponent. Good game. I lose. Again. Okay, Arena. Real matchups, please. Not mono red. That's four games in a row of mono red. Can you not? Can you not? Okay. Eskimo Joe. He's a Chandra avatar, but so am I. That makes me think he's probably playing mono red. Okay, this is a hand we keep. I keep this. Okay. Oh, yes. A color that's not red. That's so beautiful. Ugh. Okay. We'll see how this goes. Incubation Druid. So they're just hard ramping here. But the good news is we can get our Hero Precinct 1 in without much threat. At this point. Okay, Vivian Reed. Yikes.
Let's see if I've seen things that would break someone like you.
I'm going to have to attack the Vivian Reed, I think. Okay. Interesting. Okay, it's your choice of Trample, Haste, or Protection from blue. Okay, so we go that, and then I'm going to attack. So my hope is that they will play the Shifting Ceratops, give it haste, and then I'll just mortify it, and it will be dead. I'm also hoping to draw into a D-Spark so I can get rid of the Vivian Reed that way, but I really need to keep her off her ult. Cavalier of Thorns. Nice. Okay, so they're not getting anything out of Cavalier of Thorns. That's good. Past end of combat. I'm going to go ahead and mortify it. Oh, no. Oh, I'm dumb. I should have done this. Dang. I should have... I definitely should have done that before its ability resolved, because now they can... now the opponent can put... Yeah. Put something on top of the library. I misplayed that. Big time. I'm sorry. Big ol' misplays. Let's do that. Okay. We take her to 3, which means not much right now, actually. Okay. Huh. Let's think about this. Do I play Imperious Oligarch right now, Or do I wait and mortify? Because they're going to play Nissa and then use her +1 to get a land creature. I think I go ahead and play the Imperious Oligarch. I need to build a board right now. Get ready for when I can play Ethereal Absolution. And just hope it doesn't get destroyed by Vivian Reed.
You can't stop nature.
If the opponent was smart, they would have made sure to tap their creatures for mana to play Nissa and kept their forests up. But I've made the same mistake many times. But that's probably what they should have done. Click on the kitty. Kitty. Okay. Ooh, ha, he. Ooh, gosh, sorry. I'm going to take the damage. Okay. And then I'm going to mortify this forest. Get out of here, forest. We don't want you here. Be gone. Okay. Who do we try to kill? So the thing is, I need to get rid of Vivian Reed so I can safely play Ethereal Absolution without risk of her just destroying it immediately. Yeah, and I think I want to just try and kill her. So I will attack all at Vivian. And I'll let Nissa stay alive for like a little bit longer. Okay, so Vivian stays on the board. But they lose a Llanowar Elf.
Strike me and you strike nature.
Okay. This is a bummer. We really need a top deck at D-Spark. Or we could just play Ethereal Absolution and then start killing things with our spirits.
Meet my newest friend.
Nightpack Ambusher. I see. I wonder if they... Oh, no. You can give Shifting Ceratops reach. That's horrible. I hate this game. Yikes. Please spend all of your mana, opponent. Please, I'm begging you. Oh, wait, no. Because you have that. No blocks. No blocks. Let's go ahead and get in our Ethereal Absolution. Protection from blue. I can't really attack with everything or I might just die. Also, they can definitely play Nightpack Ambusher right here. Yikes. I'm going to put more pressure on her. Because if they play the Ambusher... Yeah, I'm just going to do that. I'm going to try to get rid of their Vivian. So they go Ambusher. They probably block 2 of those tokens. Though they may block all 3 of them with, one with an Incubation Druid and just lose a Druid. Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Balance comes.
Okay, so this turn is very important. Muy importante. You got another Ethereal Absolution ready to go. Spoiling for a fight. Okay. They get a Wolf. Oh, yeah, that's great. Okay. We go another Absolution. This doesn't do a ton for us. I wish it did more. Okay, so they're adapting. Smart. Keep their druid alive. If they give Shifting Ceratops reach and they block, I win that exchange. But we gotta deal some damage to Nissa or we're kind of screwed. We're not that screwed. This is such a hard situation to be in. I really want to get rid of their planeswalkers. But they have blockers, though. They have a lot of blockers and a lot of ways to get rid of my stuff. I really don't appreciate that. They might even use Vivian's Arcbow to flash in a creature here. I'm just going to do that. I'm not doing the math on these attacks. I know that if they want to block stuff, they're going to lose a lot of their board to keep their planeswalkers in their current state. And that's great. I also have a God's Willing to keep my Hero Precinct 1 alive if they double block. Or if they flash in something with Vivian's Arcbow. Okay, so they're going to spend, what, 8 mana to do something? Okay, so they're not giving Shifting Ceratops reach if they spend all 8 on the Arcbow. Okay, they are giving it reach. Sad. So they're probably spending, yeah. They're going to maybe go for like a Carnage Tyrant. We resolve that. Incubation Druid, huh? That's such a bummer. Oh, I feel bad. That's terrible. Okay. Let's see how they block here. They only have 3 blockers. So that, yeah, they block to keep Vivian Reed alive. I want to keep my Spirit alive. I also want to scry. Oh boy, that's good. Okay. We'll keep that on top. Okay. Bummer is, so they have to kill their Vivian Reed in order to get rid of, okay, they get rid of 1 Ethereal Absolution.
Sometimes rest. I'll be back. Just
That's a big swing. That's a pretty big swing. But the good news is, we still have another one, and we can potentially do a lot here. I don't love the situation we're in. Not at all. Okay. I'm going to block that, try to get a forest off the field. I'm on 4 life. I didn't even realize that. I was not even paying attention to how much life I had left. That's a bit scary. But I can take him to 10 with Revenge, and I go to 8. That'll keep me in the game for a little bit. Attack Nissa. So we get pretty close to. I mean, hard decisions. We're in a scary situation right here. I don't love it. Sorry, hang on 1 second. Okay, I'm back.
Behold, nature's true power.
They didn't want to give. Wait, what? Okay. Yeah, shifting Ceratops, they have to have that to keep their Nissa alive for next turn. I think I have to take the damage here because I've got, if I'm gonna win, I've got to have attackers, and yeah, I mean that's game. We can't win this fight right here. GG. The only chance I could have had is if I'd maybe drawn like another Revival Revenge, or if I'd drawn a Sorin, maybe something like that. But it's tough. That's tough. We couldn't get rid of that Vivian in time to keep our second Ethereal Absolution on the field, so that's game. I'll go ahead and concede. And that is going to do it for this video. Not ideal. Not ideal the last couple of games there, but now you see how the deck works. It's okay. It didn't perform as well as I actually thought. In my practice games, it definitely performed better than what it was in this video, which is unfortunate because I want you guys to see it performing at its best to make me look good. But that's fine. That's fine. Okay, options for sideboard things. I have a couple, and the reason they're not in the deck is because of I want to keep this deck rotation proof. So you could definitely run. Profane Procession. This is one card I thought about putting in here. Profane Procession is pretty nice. You get to exile creatures with it. That's good. It's another multicolored spell that gives you value as it stays on the field. This is not. You could keep this in here, but Kaya is decent against mono red. But I thought we were pretty good against mono red, and we performed okay in a couple of those games. But Kaya Orzhov Usurper is an okay sideboard option, or just main board option if you're playing best of one. It's all right. What else? I also thought about playing Call to the Feast, actually. So this is one that I considered running like 3 or 4 of at first, but I wanted to keep the deck rotation proof, so I didn't put it in there. But the reason it's so good is because it's multicolored, which is great, but it just creates 3 tokens. And with Corpse Knight, if you have Hero Precinct 1 and Corpse Knight on the field, you play this, it creates 4 tokens because of the hero trigger, and just because this creates 3, and that immediately deals 4 damage to your opponent with Corpse Knight, which is great. So it's basically like the Orzhov version of Heroic Reinforcements. It's not quite as good. It's not quite as aggressive as a play. It's not quite as aggressive of a play as Heroic Reinforcements is, but it's a decent play. But it's this is from Ixalan, so I wanted to keep everything pretty much rotation proof, so I didn't include that, but that's definitely an option right now for the next month or so. I mean, obviously, pretty much any black and white thing. I actually had, at one point, I tried to do like a hero aristocrats thing with Pitiless Pontiff and Cruel Celebrant, where you're getting, and Corpse Knight, where you're getting enter the battlefield damage and also on death damage. So if you like play creatures and then sacrifice them, you're getting damage both times. But it was not great. It was not ideal. So I switched to this, and this is fine. Play to fuel. Let me know what you guys thought of this deck in the comments below. I appreciate you watching and taking the time to spend a little bit of your day with me. I will see you guys in the next video, and as always, have fun out there playing the Magics. Peace.